Module 2 dives deeply into one of the most foundational and structurally critical topics in figure drawing, proportion, the relational measurement system that determines how parts of the human body align, scale, and harmonize. While gesture gives the figure movement and life, Module 1, proportion, brings believability, structure, and realism. This module bridges observational drawing with idealized anatomical canon and introduces a range of proportion systems used throughout history, including classical Greco-Roman standards, Renaissance canon, Loomis's head count method, and modern anatomical references. By the end of this module, you will understand how to apply standard proportions to construct full figures, identify proportion variations across gender, age, body type, and ethnicity, analyze proportion dynamically, e.g., during movement or foreshortening, adjust proportions intentionally for stylization, e.g., manga, superhero comics, or animation. This module serves as the structural skeleton on which anatomy, gesture, and stylization are layered in future modules. The concept of proportion in art. Definition. Proportion is the comparative relationship between the sizes of different parts of the figure. Importance. Errors in proportion often result in awkward or unbelievable drawings, no matter how refined the anatomy or rendering. Proportion is not static, it responds to perspective, foreshortening, and viewer angle. Canonical systems of proportion. The classical canon, Greek and Roman. Origin, Polykleitos and later artists defined ideal beauty through mathematical ratios. The body was traditionally divided into 7 heads tall, sometimes 6.5 for more realism, widely used in sculptures like the Doraphoros d Barbi. Renaissance canon, Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. Leonardo's Vitruvian Man is based on the Roman architect Vitruvius' notes, emphasizes symmetry, idealized proportions, and geometric harmony, e.g., a human fitting inside both a circle and a square. Canonical height, 7.5 to 8 heads tall, c. The Loomis method, modern head count. Andrew Loomis's system divides the human body using the head as a unit. 1 head equals top of skull to chin, 2 heads equals bottom of chest, 3 heads equals navel, 4 heads equals pelvis, 5.5 to 6 heads equals knees, 7.5 to 8 heads equals feet. Loomis also distinguishes male versus female forms, showing differences in width, hip ratio, and shoulder size. Other systems. Bridgman's structural blocks. Riley's rhythmic division manga anime exaggerated proportions, often 8.5 to 10 heads tall for heroic or divine characters. Proportional differences in ... A gender male, broader shoulders, narrower hips, generally 7.5 to 8 heads tall. Female, wider hips, narrower shoulders, shorter torso, 7 to 7.5 heads tall. Female waistline is lower. Male ribcage is longer. B. Age infants, 3 to 4 heads tall. Children, 5 to 6 heads. Teens, 6.5 to 7 heads. Adults, 7.5 to 8 heads. Elderly, slight shrinkage, stooping affects perceived height. C. Ethnicity and body type, limb length, skull shape, and torso proportion can vary significantly among ethnic groups, though stylization may smooth out individual variation. Landmark measurements, front view. Eyes sit at the halfway point of the head, nipples aligned around second head, elbows sit at the waist, around third head, wrists align with the top of the pelvis, hands reach mid-thigh, knees sit at halfway between pelvis and feet. 5. Applying proportion to drawing. Use proportion guides when sketching from imagination or correcting from reference. Create scaffolding shots or gesture lines first, then apply proportion blocks. Understand proportion in motion. Distortion occurs when limbs foreshorten or twist. Use proportional stick figures or mannequins to plan poses. 6th, proportional stylization in character design. Superhero, 8.5 to 9 heads. Heroic exaggeration. Manga, 6 heads, youthful style, or 10 heads, godlike elegance. Animation, exaggerated features, e.g., large heads for children or comedy. 7. Common mistakes in proportion drawing. Head too large or small, arms too short, common in beginners. Torso too long relative to legs, inconsistent shoulder-hip alignment, forgetting body tilt and natural curves. Practice exercises, drawing mannequins using 7-head and 8-head systems, creating proportion charts, male, female, child. Quick sketches from life photos with vertical head count lines, translating gesture poses into proportional mannequins. Learning outcomes. By the end of this module, you will construct figures using ideal and realistic proportion systems, identify gender, age, and ethnic differences through proportions, use proportion scaffolding in gesture drawing, combine gesture plus proportion for believable poses, evaluate and correct proportion errors in figure sketches.